Vasudevam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chandrotam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Madreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhagavati Nashtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 18, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit to Sri Vrindavan, text 67 onwards. Shrivan dekhi puna gela lohavana, Mahavana giya kaila janasthan darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited Shrivan and Lohavan. He then went to Mahavan and saw Gokul, the place of Lord Krishna's early childhood pastime. Of Shrivan, also called Belvan or Bilvavan, the Bhakti Ratnakar states, Devata Pujita Bilvavan Shobhamaya. The beautiful forest of Bilvavan is worshipped by all the demigods. About Lohavan, Bhakti Ratnakar says, at Lohavan, Lord Krishna used to tend cows. The demon named Lohajanga was killed at this place. Mahavan is described as follows. Behold the house of Nanda and Yashoda in Mahavan. See the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Mahavan and the birthplace of Lord Krishna, Gokul, are one and the same. So Mahavan we went last time. So many places we covered that day. Yamalarjun Bhangadi Dekhila Saisthala Prema Veshe Prabhur Man Hailatalamala. Upon seeing the place where the twin Arjun trees had been broken by Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was moved to great ecstatic love. Gokul dekhi aila Mathura nagare, Janmasthana dekhi rahe sai vipragare. After seeing Gokul, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Mathura, where he saw the birthplace of the Lord. While there, he stayed at the house of Shanodiya Brahman. Lokera sangat dekhi Mathura chadi, ekante akrur tirthe rahila asi. Seeing a great crowd assemble at Mathura, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left and went to Akrur Tirtha. He remained there in a solitary place. So Akrur Tirtha is also mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakar. Dekha Shri Nivasai Akrura Gramete. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Chilena Nibrite. Srinivas, look at this place, this village of Akrur. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there in a solitary place. 8 दिन आइला प्रभु देखिते वृंदावन कालिया हृदय स्नान कैला आर प्रस्कंदन. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan and took his bath at Kalia Lake and Praskandan. So Kalia Hrid is mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakar. When one takes a bath in Kalia Hrid, he is freed from all sinful reactions. One can also be successful in business by bathing in Kalia Hrid. Okay, I didn't know that. So those who want to do business or those who want to be successful in business, they can take bath in Kalia Hrid or Kalia Lake. It is in Parikrama Marg before we get to Madan Mohan temple. Dwadash Aditya Haite Keshi Tirthe Aila Rasasthali Dekhi Preme Murchita Haila. After seeing the holy place called Praskandan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Dwadash Aditya. From there he went to Keshi Tirtha, and when he saw the place where the Ras dance had taken place, he immediately lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. See, Ras dance doesn't happen at one place. It happens at many, many places. But this Ras Lila place It has to be at, what is that place called? Dheer Samir. See, from when we are on the Vrindavan Parikrama, so we come to Kalia Hridat, and then Madan Mohan temple. This is where Dwadash Aditya, 12 Aditya, 12 sun. So there is a level ground up above at Radha Madan Mohan temple. So after Krishna defeated or subdued Kalia, and he sent Kalia away, Krishna was in the water for a long time, and he was feeling a little cold. Actually, he wasn't cold, but what had happened, because Yashoda Maya, Nanda Baba, all the Brajvasis, they were there at the banks of Yamuna, they were getting unconscious, fainting, seeing Krishna in the grips of Kalia, and then Krishna danced on Kalia's hood. So on the pretext of that, oh, I'm cold, I was in the Yamuna for a very long time. So he came on this little hill, and that is where Dwadash Aditya Tila is there. And the reason he came there, because Radharani comes to that place, because her Ishtadev is Suryadev. So Dwadash Aditya, so 12 suns came up to dry up Krishna that time, because he was cold and he was wet. And obviously, Radharani also came, so he had to go there. And that is why its place is called Dwadashaditya Tila. And then from there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went further up, Vrindavan Parikrama, that's where Keshi Ghat is there. So it is called Keshi Tirtha. That is where Krishna killed Keshi demon. And from there, Dheer Samir is like right across from Yamuna. So their Ras dance had taken place. So he immediately lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. Chetan paya puna gada gadi jai, hase kande nache pade uchchasware gai. When the Lord regained his senses, he began to roll on the ground. He would sometimes laugh, cry, dance, and fall down. He would also chant very loudly. Ei range sei din tatha gunaila, sandhya kale akrure asi bhiksha nirvahi. Being thus transcendently amused, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed the day happily at Keshi Tirtha. In the evening, he returned to Akrur Tirtha, where he took his meal. Prate Vrindavan Kaila Chir Ghate Snana, Tentuli Talate Ase Karila Vichram. The next morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Vrindavan and took his bath at Chiraghat. He then went to Tentuli Tala, where he took rest. So I don't know where is Tentuli Tala. Chiraghat is again next to Keshi, Kalyagarda. And Tentuli tree, if it is Imli tree, then it is Imli Tala, where he took rest, but I'm not sure. Krishna Lila Kaler Chai Vriksha Puratan Tar Tale Pindi Bandha Paramachika. The tamarind tree, okay, that is the Imli Tala. The tamarind tree named Tentuli Tala was very old, having been there since the time of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Beneath the tree was a very shiny platform. So that tree, Imli Tala, is there, and there's a beautiful Gaudiya temple there. And that Imli Tala, it's there, as it is said, having been there since the time of Lord Krishna's pastime. So what had happened at this Imli Tala, Imli tree, very old tree. So Radha and Krishna, they decided to meet over there one day. So Krishna came there earlier, and he was sitting down. chanting the name, thinking of Radharani and chanting the names of Radharani. And Radharani understood that she got late and she was kind of running towards Imlitala. So when she came to near the Imlitala, because that tree, either I don't know if its roots were coming out or the Imli, that fruits had fallen down. So it kind of hurt Radharani's lotus feet. So she, because it delayed her in meeting Krishna, she kind of gave curse to that tree. Let me remember it right. I think the curse was you will never have those imli fruits. Yeah, I believe that was the curse. So, but that tree, because it got touched by Radharani's lotus feet, that tree was like it is said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went, that tree was there. So about 4,500 years old at that time. And now they say there is still an imli tree there, tamarind tree. They say it came from the same roots. It's not the same tree, but it came from the same roots. So very, very old tree. And another thing, when Krishna was waiting for Radharani, he was completely absorbed in the mood of Radharani, thinking of Radharani, chanting the names of Radharani. So his eyes were closed, looking towards Yamuna, and absorbed in mood of Radharani, thoughts of Radharani. So he looked Krishna, but he took the golden form of Radharani. So when Radharani came, she saw this form, that this is golden by his Krishna, and she liked that form. She requested that Krishna, when are you going to appear in this form? Then Krishna came out of his meditation. He said, well, in Kali Yuga, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come in this form. So he showed that form to Radharani first. So that temple, as I said, it's very beautiful temple, and the tree is still there. We can do parikrama of that tree. And just like any other tree, and every tree in Vrindavan is kalpavriksha. I mean, we can ask anything, of course. Devotees ask only bhakti, only service for Radha Krishna. So I guess I told once this incident that happened. We had taken one group of Vrindavan Parikrama, and it was very hot that day. I don't know when did we go. It was very, very hot. So we did parikrama, and when we came to this Inditala, it was getting very, I'm telling you, it was very hot. And Gopal, he heard that this tree is a desire tree. And he just prayed, let it rain because it's very hard and we are getting so tired of walking. And we had, after we left the temple, we were on the way, we were doing a Vrindavan Parikrama. Maybe we had gone maybe half kilometer from there. And it started raining, cats and dogs. There were no clouds when we went to that temple. And it really started raining. We had to stop at some place till the rain stopped. We couldn't walk in that rain. And the atmosphere, weather became very pleasant after. So, yes, every tree is a desired tree, especially that imli tree, tamarind tree. Nikate Yamuna vahe Shitala Samira, Vrindavan Shobha dekhe Yamuna rati nira. Since the river Yamuna flowed near Tentuli Tala, a very cool breeze blew there. While there the Lord saw the beauty of Vrindavan and the water of the river Yamuna. तेंतुला तले वासी करे नाम संकीर्तन, मध्याह्न करियासी करे अक्रूरे भोजन. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit beneath the old tamarind tree and chant the holy name of the Lord. At noon, he would return to Akrur Tirtha to take lunch. And Mahaprabhu's deity form is there under that tree, and he is sitting there chanting, looking at Yamuna. अक्रूरे लोका ऐसे प्रभु रे देखीते लोक भीड़े स्वच्छंदे नारे कीर्तन करीते. All the people who lived near Akrur Tirtha came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And due to the large crowds, the Lord could not peacefully chant the holy name. Vrindavane Asi Prabhu Vasi Aikanta Nama Sankirtan Kare Madhyana Paryanta. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Vrindavan and sit in a solitary place where he would chant the holy name until noon. तृतीय प्रहरे लोक पाए दर्शन सवारे उपदेश करे नाम संकीर्तन. In the afternoon, people were able to speak to him. The Lord told everyone of the importance of chanting the holy name. Hena kale aila Vaishnav Krishna Das naam Rajput jati grihastha yamna pare gram. During this time, a Vaishnav named Krishna Das came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a householder belonging to the Kshatriya caste, and his house was located on the other side of the Yamuna. केशी स्नान करी से कालिया दह जाइते आमली तलाय गोसाई रे देखे अचंभित. After bathing at Keshi Tirtha, Krishnadas went towards Kalyadaha and suddenly saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting at Amlitala, Tentulitala. Prabhur Rupa Prema Deki Haila Chamatkara Prema Vesha Prabhu Re Kare Namaskar. Upon seeing the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love, Krishnadas was very much astonished. Out of ecstatic love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Prabhu kahe ke tumi kaha tomar ghar, Krishnadas kahe moi grihastha pamar. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Krishnadas, who are you? Where is your home? Krishnadas replied, I am a most fallen householder. राजपूत जाति मुई उपारे मोर घर मोर इच्छा है हाया वैष्णव किंकर. I belong to the Rajput caste and my home is just on the other side of the river Yamuna. But I wish to be the servant of a Vaishnava. किंतु आज एक मुई स्वप्न देखीनु सेई स्वप्न प्रत्येक तोमासी पाईनु. Today I have had a dream and according to that dream I have come here and found you. प्रभु तारे कृपा कैला आलिंगनकारी प्रेमे मत हैला से नाचे बलिहारी. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then bestowed upon Krishnadas his causeless mercy by embracing him. Krishnadas became mad with ecstatic love and began to dance and to chant the holy names of Hari. Prabhu sange madhyane akrur tirtha aila Prabhur avashishta patra prasad paila. Krishnadas returned to Akrur Tirtha with the Lord and remnants of the Lord's food were given to him. Prate Prabhu sange aila jal patra laya Prabhu sange rahe griha stri putra chadiya. The next morning Krishnadas went with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan and carried his water pot. Krishnadas just left his wife, home and children in order to remain with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vrindavane Puna Krishna Prakat Hai Yaha Taha Loka Sabe Kahite Lagila. Everywhere the Lord went, all the people said Krishna has again manifested at Vrindavan. Ek din Akrure te Loka Prata Kale Vrindavan Haite Aise Kari Kolahale. One morning, many people came to Akrur Tirtha. As they came from Vrindavan, they made a tumultuous sound. Prabhu dekhi karila loka charana vandan. Prabhu kahe kaha haite karila gaman. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people offered respects at his lotus feet. The Lord then asked, where are you all coming from? Loke kahe Krishna prakat, Kaliya dahir jale, Kaliya shire nitya kare, Faya ratnan jwale. The people replied, Krishna has again manifested himself on the waters of Kaliya lake. He dances on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and the jewels on those hoods are blazing. साक्षात देखिला लोक नाही कसंशय शुनि हासी कहे प्रभु सब सत्य है. Everyone has seen Lord Krishna himself. There is no doubt about it. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to laugh, and he then said, everything is correct. Ei mata tin ratri loke ragaman sabe asi kahe Krishna pailu darshan. For 3 successive nights, people went to Kalyadaha to see Krishna, and everyone returned saying, now we have seen Krishna himself. So they are saying on Kalyadaha, they have seen Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kalya, and the jewels on Kalya's hoods, they were shining very brightly. But this they saw at night. Prabhu aage kahe lok Shri Krishna dekhila, Saraswati ei vakya satya kahaila. Everyone came before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, now we have directly seen Lord Krishna. Thus, by the mercy of the goddess of learning, they were made to speak the truth. Mahaprabhu dekhi satya kar Krishna darshan, nij jnane satya chadiya satya satya brahm. When the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually saw Krishna, but because they were following their own imperfect knowledge, they accepted the wrong thing as Krishna. So they thought they saw Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kalya. That was not true. Bhattacharya tabe kahe Prabhu racharane, agya deha yai kare Krishna darshane. At that time, Balbhadra Bhattacharya placed a request at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, please give me permission to go see Lord Krishna directly. The puzzled people who visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually seeing Lord Krishna, but they were mistaken in thinking that Lord Krishna had come to Kalya lake. They all said that they had seen Krishna directly performing his pastimes on the hoods of the serpent Kalya, and that the jewels on Kalya's hoods were blazing brilliantly. Because they were speculating with their imperfect knowledge, they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary human being and a boatman's light in the lake as Krishna. So actually what they were seeing, there was a boatman in the lake, and the lights were there, maybe the lantern or something was there on his boat, and they thought that was Kalya's hoods. One must see things as they are through the mercy of the spiritual master. Otherwise, if one tries to see Krishna directly, he may mistake an ordinary man for Krishna or Krishna for an ordinary man. Everyone has to see Krishna according to the verdict of Vedic literatures presented by the self-realized spiritual master. A sincere person is able to see Krishna through the transparent via medium of Shri Gurudev, the spiritual master. Unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he cannot see things as they are, even though he remains constantly with the spiritual master. This incident at Kalyadaha is very instructive for those eager to advance in Krishna consciousness. Tabe tare kahe Prabhu, chapad mariya, murkhera vakya murkha, kaila panditaya. When Balbhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kalyadaha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, you are a learned scholar, but you have become a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools. So Maya is so strong that even a person like Balbhadra Bhattacharya, who was constantly staying with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was influenced by the words of fools. He wanted to see Krishna directly by going to Kalyadaha. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the original spiritual master, would not allow his servant to fall into such foolishness. He therefore chastised him, slapping him just to bring him to a real sense of Krishna consciousness. कृष्ण कहने दर्शन दिव्य कालित काल है कली काल है निज भ्रम मूर्ख लोक करे कोलाहल. Why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first statement, Krishna kene darshan vibhik kalika, refers to scriptures. According to scripture, Krishna appears in Dwapar Yuga, but he never appears as himself in Kali Yuga. Rather, he appears in Kali Yuga in a covered form, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna. So Krishna appears in the age of Kali in the garb for devotee. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always associates with his internal soldiers, Shri Advaita Prabhu, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Vas Prabhu, and Gadadhar Prabhu. Although Balbhadra Bhattacharya was personally serving Lord Krishna in his role as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he mistook Lord Krishna for an ordinary man for Krishna, because he did not follow the rules set down by Shastra and Guru. So even Balbhadra Bhattacharya was illusion. Listening to everybody, oh, they've seen Krishna. Vatul na hoy ghare rahat vasiya, Krishna darshan kariya, kali ratre ya. Do not become mad. Simply sit down here, and tomorrow night you will go see Krishna. Prata kale bhave lok prabhu sthane aila. Krishna dekhi aila prabhu tahare puchila. The next morning, some respectable gentlemen came to see Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord asked them, have you seen Krishna? Lok kahe ratre kavartya nauka te chadiya kaliya daha matsya mare diyuti jevaliya. This respectable gentleman replied, at night in Kaliya lake, a fisherman lights a torch in his boat and catches many fish. Dur haite taha dekhi loker hai brahma. Kali ere sharire Krishna kariche nartan. From a distance, people mistakenly think that they are seeing Krishna dancing on the body of the Kaliya serpent. Naukate Kaliya Jnanam Tipe Ratna Jnane Jaliyare Mudaloka Krishna Karimane. These fools think that the boat is a Kaliya serpent and the torchlight the jewels on his hoods. People also mistake the fishermen for Krishna. Vrindavane Krishna Aila Sei Satya Hai Krishnera Dekhila Loka Iha Mithya Nai. Actually, Lord Krishna has returned to Vrindavan. That is the truth, but it's also true that people have seen him. Kintu kaho Krishna dekhe kaho Brahma mane sthanu purushe yache parita jnane. But where they are seeing Krishna is a mistake. It's like considering a dry tree to be a person. The word sthanu means a dry tree without leaves. From a distance, one may mistake such a tree for a person. This is called sthanu purusha. Although Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in Vrindavan, the inhabitants considered him an ordinary human being, and they mistook the fisherman to be Krishna. Every human being is prone to make such mistakes. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was mistaken for an ordinary sannyasi. The fisherman was mistaken for Krishna, and the torchlight was mistaken for bright jewels on Kaliya's hoods. So, especially in Kali Yuga, these things go on so much. Krishna was there, and we saw that person is Krishna, or that is God, or this or that. So many things go on. Prabhu kahe kaha pahla Krishna darshan, lok kahe sannyasi tumi jangama narayan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked them, where have you seen Krishna? Directly. People replied, you are a sannyasi, a renunciant. Therefore, you are a moving Narayan, Jangam Narayan. So this is Mayavad philosophy. They call everybody Narayan, especially a sannyasi, call him Narayan. This is the viewpoint of Mayavad philosophy. Mayavad philosophy supports the impersonalist view that Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no form. One can imagine impersonal Brahman in any form as Vishnu, Shiva, Vivaswan, Ganesh, or Devi Durga. According to the Mayavad philosophy, when one becomes a sannyasi, he is to be considered a moving Narayan. Mayavad philosophy holds that the real Narayan does not move because being impersonal, he has no legs. Thus, according to Mayavad philosophy, whoever becomes a sannyasi declares himself Narayan. Foolish people accept such ordinary human beings as the Supreme Personality of God. This is called Vivartana. So in this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Jangam Narayan means that the impersonal Brahman takes a shape and moves here and there in the form of a Mayavadi sannyasi. Mayavad philosophy confirms it. Dandagraham matrena naro narayana bhavet. Simply by accepting the danda of the order of sannyas, one is immediately transformed into Narayan. Therefore, Mayavadi sannyasis address one another by saying Om Namo Naranaya. In this way, one Narayan worships another Narayan. So that is their philosophy. Actually, an ordinary human being cannot become Narayan. As a chief Mayavadi sannyasi, Sri Shankaracharya says, Narayana Paravavyakta. Narayan is not a creation of this material. Narayan is above the material creation. Due to their poor fund of knowledge, Mayavadi sannyasis think that Narayan, the absolute truth, takes birth as a human being, and that when he realizes this, he becomes Narayan again. They never consider why Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, would accept an inferior position as a human being and then again become Narayan when one is perfect. So why he became imperfect? Why should Narayan be imperfect? But they never explain this. Vrindavane haila tumi Krishna avatara, Toma deki sarvalok haila nistara. People then said, you have appeared in Vrindavan as an incarnation of Krishna. Just by seeing you, everyone is now liberated. But Mahaprabhu, because he was in the role of a devotee, Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu iha na kahiba, Jiva dhame Krishna jnana kabhu na karihiba. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately exclaimed, Vishnu, Vishnu, do not call me the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A jiva cannot become Krishna at any time. Do not even say such a thing. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately stated that a living being, however exalted he may be, should never be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching protests the monastic philosophy of the Mayavad school. The central point of Krishna consciousness is that the jiva, the living entity, can never be accepted as Krishna or Vishnu. This viewpoint is elaborated in the following verses. So anyway, we'll take it up tomorrow. We'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
प्रभु जी, दीप समीर के ऊपर जयदेव गोस्वामी ने एक अच्छा सा भजन भी लिखा हुआ है ना, दीप समीरे यमुना तीरे।
धीर समीर पे होगा, मेरे पता नहीं।
हाँ, सुनाएंगे भजन। दीप समीरे यमुना तीरे वसती बने वनमाली। हाँ, ऐसे ही है कुछ। अच्छा, मुझे पता नहीं था दीप समीर उसमें उसी का है, मतलब इट्स कनेक्टेड विद वृंदावन।
Yeah, it's right at the banks of Yamuna.
Okay. Okay. और एक ना ये लोकावन भी वहाँ पे छतरपुर में एक सेंटर है इस्कॉन वालों का, उसका नेम इज लोकावन। सो वो भी मुझे आज अब तक पता चला है कि वो भी वृंदावन का ही एक वन है। तो टू थिंग्स वेरीफाई टुडे।
Yeah. Okay, chalo. You all have a safe, wonderful. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.